And welcome back to another episode of Heart of the Cast. We're here with the world champion entourage here. We've got inaugural champion Josh, as always.
Well, yeah, but it's not about me this year.
Okay, well, I guess I can just not introduce you if you prefer. Like, okay, fine.
I mean, I appreciate that, but we've got some newer world champions joining us today, which I think is what we're going to be talking about mainly today. And yeah, it's very cool to have both of you here. Of course, we couldn't get everyone involved who became a world champion this year, but we have the TCG world champion Julian. Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And then we have one of the three Master Duel world champions. It would probably get a little messy in here if we got everyone, but we got Nesh.
Yeah, I'm 1/3 of a world champion. What's up?
Did you have any TCG tops, by the way, Nesh?
Yeah,
you have a
we-
YCS
Europe.
top. Oh, okay. I thought it would be kind of funny if you didn't have any tops and then just one.
No,
world.
Europe. It was 32 or 64 last year. I don't remember actually. You can check on Wiki.
Was
These
it
digital
Snake
players.
Eye Euros?
Yeah.
This is really great because you are primarily, at least before this season, I think you were kind of like a TCG player, right? So we can get your.
I'm still a TCG player. I still love TCG. Yo, did you see this meta? This meta is broken. Like I'm not trying to, activate Maxi for the rest of the year. Like I'm trying to turn into TCG.
Hey, I was reviewing the spreadsheet combos at the airport before my flight.
What's up? Yo, my spreadsheet is crazy. Tell him.
It's pretty crazy. I gotta say.
And I have also to say that the testing for T2 trials was crazy too for my world champion. I think Josh, you also played in that.
T2 Trials is fun, yeah.
Yeah, that's broken. Without it, I would have literally no testing. It's not like I would have no testing, but that was a good
okay,
testing.
we're exaggerating a little bit there.
No, exaggerating, but that was a very good testing because
yeah.
Words format, tournament, stuff like that.
I guess for some context for the viewers or listeners that might not be familiar, T2 Trials was a basically community-based project where it was like a weekly tournament series, basically, where you had it's basically like football matches every week. Like you signed up with a team, and then it was you had a match every week. And I played with some people from Raid and Trade, and I believe Nesh played with you. Your guys' team had 20 people, even though only 3 play each week. So that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, and actually, those 20 people are the one that joined us in Paris when we booked the Airbnb.
Yeah,
I was broken. I had to cook for 9 people.
But yeah, that was cool. Shoutouts to T2 for doing that.
Yeah, I actually cooked. I mean, I have a funny story about that. I don't know if you wanna hear that. I mean,
the one where you almost burned down the apartment?
Kind
What
of.
did you do? Okay,
he
go on.
cooked.
He
said it. He cooked.
I mean, that's a lot funny. I'll talk about it maybe during the later segment.
Okay. Well, I guess Nesh probably needs no introduction since he's been around in the community and online spaces as a content creator, player for a long time now. But if you guys don't know Nesh, then of course check out his Twitch and YouTube as always. I don't think you're very active anymore on streaming, are you?
Bro, I just stopped for a month to test for words and people think I'm dead.
You could have just tested.
It's always
stream,
like that. Bro, I can't. No, I can't. It was not gonna happen. Not like that.
Let's get the intro on Julian because I'm super interested to find out your background because you sort of came out of nowhere this past year, and then you've been just getting tops left, right, and center, and look at you now. Where'd you come from? Where's this player sort of bless us from?
So I started playing last January, 2024.
Oh, come on. That's crazy.
Actually, for the first time ever, you've never played Yu-Gi-Oh before?
No. I played when I was a kid.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 24. So I moved to the US when I was 11.
Babies, dude. Oh
Yo, does everyone feel like us after he said 24? Because I do.
My knees hurt now. Jeez.
I moved to the US when I was 11, and so before I moved to the US, I played a lot in France, in the schoolyards, during lunchtime, we bring out the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. We definitely were not playing properly. We were playing with it was bad. But
so actual real Yu-Gi-Oh cards, real Yu-Gi-Oh meta is last January.
Yeah, last January, yeah. And then I started going to, like, my
Insane.
first YCS was YCS SAC. So the first one was, like, this season, yeah.
And
Gosh.
what was the reason, or like what got you into Yu-Gi-Oh like during the start of 2024? Like why, out of all the years you could have started playing, what was the thing that happened?
It's actually really, like, it's so stupid. So that's when I moved out of, like, I graduated from college in 2023. Stayed at my parents' house for a little bit, like when I first got my first job, and then I moved to my first apartment in January. And when I did, I like moved all my stuff from my parents' house, and all that stuff was like a box of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right? Like my old stuff. And so I went to like my locals, like my locals, to sell it. Like I looked up online, I was like locals, blah blah blah, like or Yu-Gi-Oh stores. I didn't even know what locals meant. To go sell it. And when I went to go sell it, I saw people playing locals, and I was like, huh, that seems like fun. And then that's literally like how it started.
That
Wow.
is crazy.
That is-
And then like not even like almost 1.5 years later, that's where we are now. Okay, that's crazy.
I gotta ask though, like how does that pipeline go from like a very surface level foray into like locals, which is like the very start beginning introduction of competitive journey, to like you just completely fast track to like the absolute top end? Like where did you have connections for testing circles? Like it is such a accelerated speed to go from like locals to world champion in a year. Like who were the people and what was the journey to get there?
Where
Yeah,
the people.
well, okay, so pretty much like so my first YCS, like I said, was YCS SAC. Before that, the only like big event that I went to, like I went to like the regionals or whatever, because everyone was like, oh, go to the regionals. I went to Nats, right?
And this
At
is just with local friends, just
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, like the Austin
Okay.
Nats, like the NAWCQ, right? I went like 3-3, right? I was out so quick, like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any like testing circles or anything. I literally was like asking like the people from my locals. I'm like, please, like give me a list. Like I don't know what to play. Snake Eye cards. I was reviewing the like Jib spreadsheet. I remember I bought it for $20 on the plane. I still didn't. I had no idea what I was doing. Like I summoned Princess with no more fires in my extra deck. Like at that Nats, and then
I mean,
I
you
was
got
like,
an
wait,
invite
what is
somehow
this?
though, right?
Sorry, what'd you say?
You got an invite though, right? Before that, that comes before that
Yeah,
too,
like
right?
yeah, like I topped like the regional like top 48 or something.
Right. I feel
So at
like
that
that's
time,
already a step that like, because with Yu-Gi-Oh, it's always people always say like, oh, the barrier to entry is so huge, and so I'm just wondering like, what your view on that was. Like, did you put in like an absurd amount of work into it because that was necessary, or did you just not feel like it was actually that hard to get into?
for that level of entry, I feel like it wasn't that hard. Like during that time, I feel like I go to locals a lot less now because I spend more time like testing. But I was going to locals more and like actually playing the
Roasting
game.
is local goes crazy.
Like, I don't go locals anymore because I want to test these days. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
But also, I moved further away from my locals. Okay, I moved
Sure.
a little further away.
So are we
But
talking
yeah,
like you went once a week regularly or
I was doing
multiple times?
twice a week.
Twice a week.
Local.
Okay.
Like, pretty regularly. Yeah,
Mhm.
I would go pretty regularly. So yeah, like I feel like at that time, like I felt like that was improving me a lot. Like when I went to my first locals, I bought Dark World from Brian Chen. I'm sure people know who Brian Chen is. Like I didn't know who he was, but it's just
Oh,
like
we
people
do.
were like, you need cards to go talk to that guy. I'm like, I bet. I'm like, Dark World cards. Give me those. I would like either
Any
like win
cool
on
hand
my
loops?
yeah, either win on my rounds or lose on my rounds based on if I lost my dice rolls or won my dice rolls.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like that. And then one day I got sick of like losing locals, so I bought Snake Eyes.
Okay, but again, like I don't think anyone's becoming a world champion just from playing with random people at locals. So who did you start testing with? Did you reach out with people online? Did you have a group of friends at locals who wanted to take the next step together?
Yeah, so pretty much from my area overall, like I met some people throughout the year, and then at Nats, like I re-met with those people even after having like a bad run, and they kind of got me into like my first testing circle. And then those people have been with me like since the beginning. Like I'm still in that testing circle, and they kind of helped me get like my first top, which was the remote YCS in November. And from there, once I got, even though like okay, I know people have differing opinions on remote YCSs, but even though that was my first top, that got me like that started getting like eyes on me, and so like different people started getting like paying attention to me and wanting me to test with them and all that stuff. And then from there on out, like every YCS at top just got more and more attention to me and got me into like better and better testing circles.
And
networking, interesting.
You initially qualified through Worlds. I mean, you qualified twice, but you did the points stuff. Was that something you immediately set your eyes on? Like, because it was essentially your first season of actually playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Actively. Was it something like you wanted to take it super seriously from the beginning, or was it something that just happened because you did well at a couple of events and then you decided to go to more regionals, or like how did that work? Like, did you actually try hard, quote unquote, from the beginning?
So what happened? So for Orlando was like, so again, I topped the remote YCS. That was like cool. But then like the week before Orlando, I won a regional, and my regionals are like pretty big. So they're actually worth like a decent amount of points. They're like they're like minimum 48 points, which in NA, I don't know exactly how it works in Europe, but in NA there's like a lot. 48 to 64, right? Santa Clara and LA are the ones I go to. So those like are with always good points, which is nice because they're nearby. So I did that, and then that even like I didn't even consider the points at that point. But then I got top 4 at Orlando, and Orlando was like a huge YCS, and it was a top 64. And so when it's top 64, you get like 128 points if you win. So for fourth, I got like 125 points. And that's the one that got me like going, because I checked the list after that one and I was like 10th or something. Like I remember it was actually Lucas Sacco. He told me, he was like, bro, you have so many points now. Like you're gonna go to Worlds with me and you're gonna translate for me. Like he was like, we're both gonna qualify and you're gonna translate all the French stuff for me and stuff. And I was like, all right.
Well, someone lied.
He had half of that right. He had half of that right.
Wow,
I mean, yeah, that quite literally just sounds like a speedrun situation. I don't know what else to say. That's kind of crazy, because a lot of the things you just like casually said are things that other people sometimes have to work like a decent amount of time for. Where it's like, you know, got to take one step at a time, like work your way towards like a regional top or regional win, and then eventually your first YCS top, and then maybe you can think about like doing Worlds points or getting a win eventually. And you've just like done all those things within such a short time frame, which is honestly very, very it's crazy, but it's also very inspiring, I feel like, for people out there. At least I hope so.
It really sounds like it's I don't want to say gate kept, but there's definitely like, you know, really strong, powerful groups of players out there, and it just seems like you managed to get into the right circles at the right time. And
in the circles we are in, they don't even play Yu-Gi-Oh! Tell him, Jules. Like it's actually crazy. Like they play Fortnite there, man. Like 90% is Fortnite. I'm not joking. I hate
it's
that.
not possible to test in Discord because you try to test and you got 60 people talking over you trying to play Fortnite or some shit. I've been DMing people while we're in the same call, being like asking them questions.
Like there are like people think about testing circle, people think about this, people like it's actually not that. I can guarantee you that I'm in 90% of them, and they play Fortnite or like.
What do you play, Nish?
What do I play? Overwatch.
Okay, what's your rank?
Action. Legend. My last season was Legend 2. What's up? I'm crazy.
Wait, how does it go? It's like plat, diamond, and then what's happening?
No, like there is a new system. It's called the Colosseum.
Oh, okay.
Is Legend good?
Yeah, it's before the max rank.
Okay. What do you mean?
May.
What the? That's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, why is that crazy? What does that mean?
It's like it's like the Overwatch equivalent of playing
Stun.
like Six Samurai or something. Not even stun, like Six Samurai, like some dumb like weird niche combo deck that like I don't know. That's very funny. Anyway, Nesh, you can tell us a little bit about your journey, because I guess
from the start, bro. I'm 30. You sure about that?
No. You're just your World's victory. So were you always gonna do the grind from the start of the season, or did Herman just take you and then you locked in?
So hear me out. And this is we tried for 2 years actually. We were in the same Discord group called We Are Friends, WAF. I mean, you're also there.
WAF.
WAF. And me, Herman, and Luca were kind of interested to the run together 2 years ago. We tried the run together. We did not qualify for 60 points, as you might
I
have
remember
heard
that.
about.
Yeah, that was
kind of
rough.
crazy.
And when you say try together, it's like you all three played and you just said to yourself, like, whoever wins, like, we're gonna take each other.
Yeah. We were all trying together. We would sit in a Discord call. Everyone plays. Just to support each other. Because otherwise, it's very boring to sit there alone with a lot of energy drinks. Yeah, you have been there.
During the grinds?
Yeah, it's very bad, man. Like, it's mentally bad if you don't have someone else, to scream to. So
what are you guys
we
talking
tried.
about? Like, damn, I got Maxi.
No, you don't want to know what we're talking about.
Okay.
That cannot be on YouTube, man. But for 2 years, we really tried. The first year was very tough because we missed for literally a small shot.
That was last
year? The second year, last year. This year, instead, we were like, we're going to do it no matter what. Like, we're going to grind every DC Cup. I'm not going to go to any event. In fact, I didn't go to any event. That's usually the huge, to be honest. Like, if I pick an event, it's maybe 1 or 2 during the year.
Right, yeah.
But, like, this time, I literally went to play, like, every Challenger Cup. We locked in. We actually won most of them, me, Luca, and Herman.
Bro, whenever I had a 3 versus 3 Challenger Cup, like, it was always you three.
Exactly. I have so many Sky Striker jacket, I don't know what to do with that. Hit me up in the DMs, guys. Okay, so we decided to lock in for that. Herman would call me every morning of the Challenger Cup in order to wake me up. It was very bad, I can guarantee you that.
Wow.
We would play those Challenger Cups, and there, like, we actually built our, communication. Bro, we communicate so well, it's crazy. But even during wars, like, there are some situations in which, like, we actually communicated very well that I will explain later. So we built the chemistry there. We tested in the T2 trials, which was huge. We also played the KG Cups. There was OCG, like an OCG event that was happening on Discord on Master Duel, 4 a.m. my time. And I would still play that for 5-6 hours straight. And then play Challenger Cups.
Basically, this is like a very concerted effort to qualify to Worlds. This isn't like an on a whim type of thing. This is a very, very guided, dedicated journey to get there. So
yeah, no, bro, like mentally stressing. Like, I don't want to say it's stressing like the TCG one, because the TCG one is like an entire year of grind. While
it's kind of the same with Master Duel.
It's kind of, but it's different because it's more focused into 3 days. Like, like, you can still grind on Master Duel and play every day, but then, like, the real focus is on the 3 days of the Challenger Cups. While for TCG, you kind of have to travel every time, like, find a good regional, stop every regional, like, it's kind of like more stressing. Also because like you have to stay in between people and talk to people. Like different one. In my opinion, is like mentally stressing. Like, I have a sort of social battery. Like after an event is down bad, like, and I cannot talk to no one for a week. Like, it's like that. I'm literally talking to a PC right now. I'm not even talking to you. Like, I'm talking alone. That's why it's working out this way. But if I had to go somewhere else, I would probably be quiet.
Yeah, that's fair.
So anyways, we do that Challenger Cup, which was crazy because Luca didn't want to play that one. There was a huge discussion between Luca and Herman. Herman was so pissed that Luca didn't want to play that one. I worked my way out. Yeah, that Duelist Cup, yeah. The dual, because Luca was playing for One Piece, a huge regional. And Herman was very pissed, and I was trying, like, in the middle, like trying to make them like work up, like trying to make that work up. I was like, bro, don't worry, we're gonna win this shit. Luca did not believe in that. I will say that because actually Luca was like, no, bro, we just go for the regional one, It's fine. We win the shit easy.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, why do you want to try for the regional one when we can go for the Duelist Cup? And it was me and Herman, and Luca was joining sometimes because we had a discussion. Was like, don't worry, bro, I'm gonna join. You know, I'm gonna also play while during the pause there. First day, we are all three actually top 10. Very good. Second day, I'm doing decent, I would say. Like, I'm reaching like 40, 45. Herman is going crazy. After day one, like, Herman with the Ritual Beast, like, I don't understand how he did that. I mean, I probably understand, like, I do understand how he did that, because every motherfucker was literally on Fissure, Macrocosmos, Necrovalli. Herman was like, every time he was seeing Fissure on Macrocosmos, like, yo, extender. Like,
extender.
Like, what was the format again for that Duelist Cup?
Oh, hell. I think it was...
Yeah, I know it was hell, but like, what exactly?
It was Snake Eye for sure.
Tenpai, right?
It was Snake Eye for sure.
I mean, Tenpai was still there, but it wasn't like the full power Tenpai one.
Yeah, there was Tenpai, there was Snake Eye. Bro, there were so many stun, bro.
Oh,
stun.
Yeah, the stun one. Yeah.
It's the stun one, man.
Yeah.
The people in top 10 with stun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so and that's also why like the Ritual Beast went so good, because stun could literally do nothing against the Ritual Beast. That was literally like multiple extender for that.
Yeah.
I was gifting him extenders. So me and Luca are actually doing very great during the first 2 days. And then the third day happens. Bro, the third day, I swear, there is like a curse on me. I wake up, I cannot move my hand on my... Bro, it's very bad. I promise you, it's very bad. Like, we are talking about full fire king combos ending on IP pass without any other body. Like, that's how bad it gets on the day 3, like, in my head. Herman's still going crazy. I was like, Nash, like, just give it up. I'm like, hi. And he's playing the thingy. Like, he's
I think
stopping.
it's really interesting that you sort of just conceded to giving up and focusing all of the power into like one person, right? So like, I assume you were like backseating each other a lot, talking about plays, and like that just kind of makes more sense.
I mean, we were talking, but
it's not against the rules, by the way. Just so you know.
I mean, bro. Okay, I can't. I don't want to get my brothers upset. Like, it's gonna be bad, bro. I can't.
Okay, whatever.
I can't. Herman is gonna.
But yeah, you dipped, and Herman essentially was the one that.
Basically Herman basically, I surrendered because, like, to be honest, I couldn't do it anymore, so I just mentally supported Herman, and Herman like literally grinded up.
Mm-hmm.
And
that makes sense.
Yeah, and like we were talking, like in the mid of the game, after the games, most likely he was grinding mid games. He was able to win, and then he was like, "Okay, brothers, we're going to Worlds. Okay, let's go to Worlds." We qualify for Worlds. The preparation now. The preparation. We are testing.
I just wanted to jump over to Julian here so we can get some balanced screen time. So we're gonna do Julian's prep now. Then we're gonna go back to your prep here.
All right.
So yeah, in terms of the TCG, and obviously you can chime in as well where relevant. Because I know you did do some TCG this season. I believe you qualified through the main event, correct, Julian? Or was it the points?
I qualified through both. I did World
Oh, you were that guy! Oh my god, that's crazy.
To be fair, like, qualifying through the World Points playoffs, I feel like made it a lot easier to do well at the main event. Like,
This happens every year in Europe and in NA. There's someone who like just misses out on the playoff on the Friday, and they still like get like top 16, and they're trying to get that invite on. Like, I'm pretty sure someone did do that like last year or this year. So yeah, but you're right.
Adichia did it both years too. Like the one thing is you are already qualified, and then you get to play like Euros or the NAWCQ with so much less pressure. I feel like on your shoulders because you've already done it, which I think is what you meant.
Yeah, I sleep like so bad, like before events. Like I'll sleep like I usually sleep like 8 hours a night. I'll sleep like 4 or 5 hours before an event. that Friday night, I slept like 8 hours. I was like, I'm going to bed. And then the funny thing in Top Cut too, I was like, I could never eat well. Like even like at Worlds, bro, I was like looking at these granola bars. I was like staring at them for hours because we had so much time in between our matches. I was like, I gotta eat something. I was just staring at the granola bars. I was like, I was like, I can't do it. Like I want to eat, but like your stomach feels upset and everything. Like you can't. At Nats, I was eating Chipotle in Top Cut, and then Chris LeBlanc came up to me. He's like, "This guy's not serious. How is this guy eating Chipotle right now? Like, be so for real. Like, lock in." And I'm like, "I'm locked in, bro. It's all good."
What's wrong with Chipotle? Like, you're gonna shit yourself like in the middle of Top Cut or
Nah,
something? Is that the idea?
It's just more like I feel like you like. I think everyone gets that same feeling of like you're in Top Cut, like your body like can't handle like can't handle like eating that much or like eating at all just because of like all the nerves and the stress and like
Right.
Also if you eat too much like you're gonna be like feel hella heavy and all that stuff, so yeah.
Okay, so you're saying like the fact that you qualified through the playoffs just made you super chill during the main event, everything, good sleep, good food, and then like no other. I mean, surely everyone else in Top Cut obviously just under more pressure than you are because you always like, you know, well, I got the qualification already, but like your like top 16, top 8 opponents probably like super nervous because they're so close. But there's also the other thing that you mentioned, which is like the people that get super close in the playoffs and then still somehow qualify through the main event, which happened both years now with Aditya, who was in the points playoffs last year and then ended up winning the main event, even though he didn't make it in the playoffs. And then this year also was in the playoffs, didn't make it, and then qualified through the main event again, where it almost feels like, you know, getting so close in the playoffs then motivates them even more to do well in the main event, and somehow it's worked out twice in a row, which is also crazy.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your deck and how you ended up playing that? It seems like you kind of just did go for the best deck. I think there was a lot of VSK9. But I guess like maybe what more interestingly would be like,
Is there a lot of Vanquish K9?
It was the most repped, but like not like by crazy amount. Like the format was actually quite diverse this year.
Like everyone I was talking to like was on Yummy. Okay, you probably have the stuff.
There was a lot of Yummy as well.
9 Vanquish Soul, 7 Yummy, and then like sprinkle the rest.
Like 5 Malice, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that decision process. And like I guess I'm kind of more interested in like what was like the super close like second choice that you almost went with, if at all, or was it kind of always just like no, this is the deck, we're gonna lock in on it, master it, and make it perfect?
Yeah, so I just through like kind of my whole process. So my very first instinct obviously was Malice because once we got to know like the legality of everything, Malice was barely more hit right in the OCG than in the TCG. So like when you combine both, all you do is you lose 1 Dormouse, which I know like obviously 1 Dormouse is still a lot because it's the best starter. But at the end of the day, it's not like the craziest hit. So Malice was like still playable. The only thing is that building Malice for that event was kind of weird because the Yummy matchup is fine, but the Vanquish Soul matchup is like near impossible. Like I feel like going second can't really win with Malice against that deck. And then I was also worried that like there would be a lot of Lancias still in people's decks because they would still respect Malice. So like I quickly kind of moved away from Malice with the idea that if I wanted to move back to it, I didn't really need to do like prep on like how to play the deck. Like I obviously know how to play that deck, right? So I moved quickly away from Malice, and then I moved actually towards Draco Tail because I had already tested Yummy like quickly, and I just like really didn't like the way the deck plays and like the strategy behind it. I thought it was very weak and had a lot of weaknesses. The going first was like not strong enough for me. Whereas I want a deck that like
the going first is literally not existent. Like you summon to fusion to trap settle.
Yes, I was talking about Yummy, but also Draco Tail.
Oh, Yummy, sorry.
No, Draco Tail is the same. That's my issue. I really like Draco Tail. I think the deck is like a lot of fun. The problem is that I'm going to World, so I'm not going to only have fun, right? So like Draco Tail, I really liked. I took it to Vancouver, and then I realized that with that deck, going first, you like set up almost like the disruptions. I mean, you do set up some disruptions, but like it doesn't feel like a lot. You feel like you have to be reliant on like some tacky stuff, like playing Winda and like making Winda, but also like I'm glad to see that like that would have been a huge mistake because everyone was on board breakers, so like bye Winda every time. And then I finally moved to Vanquish Soul K9. Before I moved to my list, I actually was on a POTS variation of the deck, which I thought was really strong into a diverse field, which is what I expected at first. And funny enough, that's what actually ended up being at the event. But that's not what I expected towards the end when I moved to the list I took. But I like the POTS version because I could play like a lot of hand traps and therefore have a good yummy matchup while still having a decent mirror matchup. Like I was playing like 3 Fant in the main, 3 Nib, and then like all the normal stuff like Fua, Holy Su, Izuna, all that good stuff. But then I ended up kind of like looking back at the list of all the players, and I mean, to be fair, I was wrong about a lot of them, but it looked to me like from NA, like almost everyone was gonna take Vanquish Soul. From Europe, I thought like I thought like Roselle was gonna take Vanquish Soul, for example, like because she qualified with that deck, and like it only got better, right? So I was like, oh, surely like she won't take a deck like Sky Striker. That one never crossed my mind. I'm not gonna lie. So I thought it was gonna be more Vanquish Soul, so I decided to play the much heavier K9 package because of Milano. I'm gonna be real, like straight up. Because of Milano, I hit him up after seeing his deck profile, and I was like, "Yo, bro, like, can you just like explain the 3 case thing?" And he was like, "Let's play some mirrors. You play your list, I'll play mine." When he went first, I could never win. I literally could not get one game off of him. When I went first, obviously I won sometimes, but he was able to get games off of me, and I was like, "Damn, like more engine just seems like way better." You lose out a little bit on the yummy matchup, but in the mirror you gain so much that I think it's worth it. And I expected there to be like a much larger piece of the pie to be the mirror.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how I circled around all the decks. The one more thing I want to say about that is the way I tested for Wolves. I thought was really cool. This was Lucas Sacco's idea. It was to run like gauntlets, which pretty much it's like a simulation of the tournament where like all my friends are like my opponent, like they play together against me, and we use a wheel, like literally like wheelofnames.com.
Oh, wheel reference, let's go.
Yeah, we literally use the wheel. And the wheel, you like weigh out the decks as we see the representation will be. Spin the wheel, and then I play against that deck. So we just spin the wheel, play against the decks, and this is before we made it like mostly Vanquish Soul K9. It was still like
this is the wildest prep, by the way. Just so far, like this is cinema. Like, sorry, keep going.
No, you're good. So we put like 30% Vanquish Soul, 30% Yummy, and then like 20% Malice, and then kind of all the other decks. There was no Lunalight and no Sky Striker in my wheel, to be fair. But I didn't see those coming. But yeah, so just play a bunch of those and just kind of like each gauntlet, right? Which is like you spin the wheel for each round, was like 7 rounds, and then if I made it out with like a 5-2 record, because it was 5-2 or 4-3, but I would have to lose like the last 2 rounds for it to work out in that way. Then we would play out top cut. To be fair, I never won a gauntlet, but it was fine. And like the good thing about those is that I would say that for the most part, my friends played better than like my opponents did at World, just because like I played with no takebacks, but they played with takebacks, so that they would literally be like a no mistake machine. Like they would always be like the hardest like scenario, right, for me.
All right.
Whereas at Worlds, obviously, I ran into a few scenarios where like my opponents would make mistakes, and that like I could capitalize on those.
Yeah.
Yo, that's a broken testing, by the way.
I like that. Yeah, that's good.
I like that too.
You got some TCG experience in here, Nesh. You want to tell us like what you think about his deck choice and stuff? Did that sound like something similar that you would have approached?
I mean, he knows. Like the deck list is very similar to what I would play, except for the one Phantasmite. Oh hell no! I'll never play.
I love that card.
But like the rest of the deck and the Kinker in the extra deck, like we also spoke about it. I think the Kinker in the extra deck is broken. But like the rest of the deck list like looks broken to me.
Honestly, that card, my only change in the extra deck would have been to cut Valon and play a second Ripper. The second Ripper actually came up.
Kinker is basically second Ripper.
That's fair. Yeah. It can bring it back. Oh no, you can't bring it back, right?
You can bring back from both player graveyard, and it's also broken in the mirror.
Can you bring back I thought it was only a level 5. Can you
level 5? Every level 5 from each graveyard.
Yeah. But the reason why I say second Ripper is because I'd have some games where my board got broken. I didn't die, and I still like because of like actual board breakers, like Book of Eclipse, or I actually got hit by like Raigeki once. I would still have my quick play spell left, but maybe it's like too situational. And then on the next turn, I would just want to make a Ripper and then activate Quick Play. But maybe that's just me being greedy. And just
it also enables you to play around Nib on a follow-up turn better, right? If you have a second Ripper in the extra deck. Yeah. You have like a Joggle or Lantern left, and you just get into a Ripper before you commit to more summons.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But that Phantasme for me was either Shifter, Kurikara, or Chaotic Elements.
I like Shifter.
But I expected it to be literally like so much mirrors that I didn't want to have like a dead card in the mirror.
I mean, I think in hindsight, the Phantasme was very strong for Worlds format because it's literally at its worst probably against like Draco Tail, and that is a deck that no one played.
Yeah. And even against Draco Tail, it's fine. Like
it can be fine, yeah, but it's still like way better against Yummy.
I think it's okay against. I mean, would it be okay against Yummy with the main deck Trust? I don't know. If they are on breakers, they are on Trust main deck, right? Especially some Phantasm.
Since Phantasm is my only my only actual hand trap other than Ash, you don't have to Phantasm on your turn. You just Phantasm on. Sorry, you don't have to Phantasm on their turn. You can Phantasm on your turn. It actually applies way more pressure.
Yeah,
because
it's better.
You're not drawing to hand traps other than the Holy Sue, which if they're already established, it doesn't matter. Like the Holy Sue doesn't do anything. So at that point, you just actually just get an extra summon on your turn. Because when you summon on their turn, they still have like pop and whatever. They're not going to use it on anything else.
I like that, and like it's actually nice. I don't know, is it actually nice in OCG? Like because you are using the trigger effect from OCG, right? So Phantasm is a quick effect.
Yeah, it's a quick effect. It's actually worse on your turn for it to be a quick effect.
Yeah.
Because they can activate like to be fair, they have to summon a Link monster and a Synchro like for it to be worse. Kind of, right? But yeah, you like don't want to give them the chance to respond with.
Oh yeah, they can tag out the Synchro then if you like, otherwise they would have to skip a trigger. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how you feel about the 0 Draco Tail representation. Like, are you surprised that no one came to the conclusion to play Draco Tail? Like, I mean, gosh, there was more Striker and White Forest players than Draco Tail.
I mean, they trying to win.
I was a little bit surprised. I did think that I would see like one or two. I like the deck is like still pretty good. I did think I would see one or two. I assumed that the reason no one brought it is because people thought maybe the same thing that I did was there would be a lot of Vanquish Soul, and I do think that matchup is like really, 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 really difficult. It's because you're
70-30.
Yeah, the way your deck works in Draco Tail is you're trying to like you break the board like super easily. The thing is that Vanquish Soul's board is in their hand, right? Yep. And also they just activate a card that says that you can't destroy my monsters anymore. So like it makes it really hard. You can't really like keep up with the card advantage.
It does have a pretty strong Yummy matchup, so if someone like predicted there to be more Yummy than Draco Tail, I wouldn't have been surprised if there was like one or two. Another thing that I was thinking about when it came to Worlds this year in particular with Draco Tail, in my experience, the games against Vanquish Soul or even against Yummy where you go second with the deck, even though you have a chance at winning, they take quite some time. Because the deck's main like win con in those matchups is more like the long game, especially when you're going second. You're just trying to like throw super efficient cards at their board, summon big monsters, like attack over their stuff, and just not run out of resources because everything you do gives you more cards. And then like eventually out resource those decks, which first of all is difficult against Vanquish Soul because like you said, they have like 6 cards in hand after turn 1. It's way easier against Yummy, which is basically on 1 or 2 cards in hand after turn 1. So if you can play into their board, you're probably okay. But it's just difficult when you know your opponents are very good, and that means grinding against them is going to take quite a while. And if you ever reach 50 minutes, it's going to be a double loss, right? You have to win 2 games in 50 minutes. And if if I'm playing against a very good K9 Vanquish Soul player, I don't know if I can win a game going second in less than 20 or 30 minutes if they interrupt like correctly.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the regional that I took this deck to, I went to time like 3 times.
Yeah.
And sometimes like I had matches that took 40 minutes and I 2'd my opponent.
Yeah.
So like the Draco Tail takes a while, yeah.
I think what Josh actually like the point that Josh just touched about like how it was hard to play into a board with those time restriction is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to be honest, I don't think that was the best idea, like to put such a time rule at Worlds. I remember actually hearing
that's crazy, yeah. Okay.
I remember hearing your thoughts about how it could work in a YCS, which I can see. Yep. But at Worlds, you kind of want to make your opponent lose too, if you're going to lose.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what you're referring to is that it's not super beneficial to you at a YCS to give your opponent a loss, right? At Worlds, maybe it's different. However, from what I've heard, and I guess Julian can weigh in on this too in a second, but from what I've heard from other people is that they were actually quite pleasantly surprised on how it played out at Worlds, because they felt like everyone was playing at a way faster pace than with the older time rules. Is that something you felt like too, Julian?
Like some players did, some players no. I don't want to say anything about anyone, but in general, I did. Some people did try to take me down with them at some points.
Okay,
that's crazy.
I mean, it makes sense from their perspective, right? Because it's not it's not stalling. It's not stalling. You run out the clock by naturally playing. It's not stalling.
Yeah. No one slow played me, because I mean, I would be the quickest with the judge if my opponent was slow playing me. It was just I'm in 100% winning game state. I'm gonna kill you in 30 seconds, but there's 20 seconds left on the clock, right? Stuff like that. But thankfully, there was a minute and 30 seconds left on the clock rather than 30 seconds. Right. So the opponent just never scoops. So
I honestly, I kind of am not sure which is the more beneficial to you, unironically.
No, it's this weird situation where I believe the way it works is okay, so if you're beating your opponent but you just kind of don't have enough time for it, it's incentivized for them to scoop so that they can go to the next game or something. Now, if they keep playing and they lose, then both of you are losing out, especially on tiebreakers. So it actually benefits the winning player to scoop a game faster so that they can, even though they might be winning that game, so that they can go and definitely win the game 3.
It happened to me that literally happened to me the first round. I was playing Amir, and game 2, I was in a 60-40 spot, right? I was up a game though, where I was in the 40 spot, and it was definitely winnable, but there was 10 minutes left. And it was I was nowhere near to dead yet. But I was I'm a scoop. I'm literally gonna scoop because I don't want to figure out if I can win this game yet. Right. I don't want to figure out if I can win it, or just my deck is so broken going first, just go first and win in the next game.
Yeah.
It's like a game of chicken for
what I meant is
risk.
What I meant is is it actually better for you to get a double loss than it is to just lose normally?
It's not, because
I think it is, because you take a player out of the above bracket.
You do take him out of the above bracket, but you make your own tiebreak worse, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Exactly.
Your tiebreaker depends on your opponent's record at the end of the tournament.
That's true. I actually have a good example of that one too. I played Tom in the last round of Swiss, and I lost to him, but I got paired up. So I was incentivized if we went to time. We didn't go to time, but if we went to time, I was incentivized to to surrender rather than take the double loss, because he would still be in the above bracket. But then I would just have I would have a worse tiebreaker. He wouldn't even fall into my bracket because I'd be X3 and he'd be X2. Right. Yeah, we didn't even go to time.
And it's obviously it's anecdotal, but I do believe I was told that there was only one double loss in the entire tournament. And
I think there were two.
Maybe there's 2.
I'm
okay.
Sure there are 2.
But there was one, and one of the players involved in it ended up getting 9th, which was Dino, the White Forest player from Oceania. Yeah. Which I don't know if it would have been different if they just had lost instead of getting a double loss, because maybe their opponent would have had a better score in the end and then would have been 8th instead. Could have happened.
Yeah, to be fair on that one, I was 8th, and 2 of my 3 losses were Yuna and Tom, which were 1st and 2nd.
Yeah.
So that definitely really helped my tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Oh my god. When the judge was calling out 1st through 8th and 7th, I didn't hear my name.
Yeah.
I put my hood up. I had my head down. And I was like, please.
No, that's what I mean, right? It's imagine you had, instead of losing to either Tom or Yuna, you would have had a double loss for both of you. They would have still made top cut anyways, because they would have been 5-2 instead of 6-1. but your tiebreaker would have still probably been worse, right? So like you could have gotten 9th based on that, if that had been the case, right? So it's just like it feels like everyone is under the misconception that like getting your opponent a loss too is always good for you, which I don't believe is the case. Yeah. Like I don't actually think this is true, and I think if people realize that this is not always the case, I think a lot of the argument of I'm just going to take my opponent down with me will go away, which is like the really one negative thing that people say about this is like, oh, this is going to happen every time now, and I just think like it's not even like guaranteed better for you to take your opponent down with you. So like, why would you do that? Besides the fact that it's cheating, of course, but like, why would you even want to do that?
It's not cheating, but like,
if you stall like, your opponent into time to get a double loss, that's cheating. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
no, I think it made sense during the early round. After that, no. After that, doesn't make any sense. But during the early round, like if you're losing, that made sense for.
Right, so like you're saying like round 1 you wouldn't scoop if there's like 10 seconds left just so your opponent can get a win, because then they have just an advantage on you over the rest of the tournament, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. But even then, if your opponent ends up going like whatever your opponent's record is at the end is one worse than what it would have been, which makes your tiebreak worse.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's weird.
It depends how many game losses there are.
I do like the new time rule just because there's no possibility of like intentionally drawing anymore.
Yeah,
which that like always kind of like messes everyone up. Like,
like I think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the definitive like answer.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. I talked to some people over the course of the weekend, and basically the consensus and what I also said was like, I think it's better than before. But it's not like perfect yet, like there's things to improve on it still, but I do think in general like the main takeaway is like people are incentivized to play faster than before, which I think is a good thing, and there is very little, if any, incentive to slow play people anymore, which I think is very good too.
Yeah,
hopefully people pick up and realize it, because a lot of people still are under the misconception that it's better to both lose than lose type of thing.
Yeah.
Which is not true. It is significantly better to take a loss and hope your opponent gets good tiebreakers than it is to take both of yourselves down.
I think so too. I think so too. And the only negative thing that I feel about it is the fact, like what I mentioned earlier, is that sometimes you're incentivized to scoop games even though they're still very playable. Like the ones where you go second, your opponent makes a board, you have like a very strong engine, and you're like, you know what, I should probably try to play into this. But then if I end up losing this game after 30 minutes or whatever, because I do enter this long grind game, which technically to me is like very fun Yu-Gi-Oh! I want to play those games. I don't want to scoop. I don't want to look at an end board, have a strong engine hand, and be like, I should go next, because like otherwise we might not finish this match, right? That's the one thing I'm scared of. I don't think the negative of this time rule is like, oh, people are going to stall other people into time to get like double losses. I don't think that's the real negative of this thing.
I will say the one really good positive is the top cut, like no time. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Like we had some crazy matches. Like I don't think any of my matches were that long, but we had some crazy matches. Like I think it was Isaiah versus Roselle, which was a 2-0, but took like an hour and like 15 minutes or something, just because like. Well, it's Sky Striker, right? The games can just take a while, but I think that's just so cool. Like no more time in Top Cut, and like obviously the judges will like make sure you're not slow playing or anything. Like you can't take forever, but at the same time, it's like no one's gonna die to time in like a single elimination tournament at that point. Like just shouldn't that happening. Yeah.
I mean, we were there, Josh, so you can agree with me on one thing. Like the waiting time in between games were like so long.
What, like when?
Like waiting for another game. Like when we were there, right? Like we would play against the team, then wait an hour, play against another team, wait an hour.
For Master Duel?
Yeah, but like I think at that point, like if that was the case, that we were to wait for so much, like you guys could have played also without time. Might as well, to be honest.
Oh, that's your point. Okay, yeah. I mean,
my point is that
I do think like for like the general thing, you can't have like no timer in all Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, right? They could have done it in Swiss for Worlds, I suppose. I agree with you there. Like, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal if they just say, like, for Worlds, you play with no timer. I think that would be fine.
They have a judge at every table.
It would be fine, yes. I agree with you. It's just not something you can do at a YCS, because if you let 2,000 people play without a timer, there's going to be some match that takes 2 hours every round. So, like, we can't do that.
No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, but at Worlds, that probably would have worked. Yeah, that probably would have been nice.
Sorry, I should have made my point.
Yeah, but I do think it's weird to sort of like test a new time rule at the World Championship. That's kind of a weird way to test or experiment with a new time rule, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's strange. They did literally kind of. I mean, I guess it worked out surprisingly well.
Maybe they expected like those players to be the best people to try it, quote unquote, right? Because that's the most quote unquote professional environment where you can try out something, right, to see if it works. Well, yeah. I mean, it did work out. So ultimately, there wasn't a lot of double losses happening. I only heard of one, but you guys say there was 2. But that's not that many, honestly, out of all those matches that were played. You know, there's what is it, 27 players at Worlds, 26. I think 27 because there was a bye.
27 times 7.
So it's 13 matches per round, and times 7 is like what, 91 matches total, and there was only 2 double losses. So that's not many.
So it's like 2% of the matches.
Roughly, yeah, roughly. Which is really not many.
Compared to like, there would be way more than 2% of draws.
There would have been more than 2 draws, yeah. I can tell you that much. So that's, you know. So it is possible to finish 3 games in 45/50 minutes, but like people just don't do it as often with the old time rules.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's that.
Yeah. All right, Nesh. Tell us a little bit about the prep involved with Master Duel. Feels a little bit more complicated in some ways than TCG because you got the whole like shared deck thing, shared card stuff. How did that all go down?
Okay, so for the people that don't know how the shared card pool works, you pick 3 cards and you can play the max copy of those cards in every deck that you're gonna pick at Worlds. Every player picks 2 decks, and the rest of the cards are shared. That means that if I put an evil image in my main deck for my deck 1, other people can only utilize 2 evil images. So we can play 1 evil image each in every main deck for the first 3 decks. So, strategy-wise, we had Luca on Malice, which was the best pick of the tournament, I think.
Shoutouts to Luca. He had like 74% win rate on Malice. He was the MVP Malice player of the entire tournament.
I mean, we had crazy list, yeah.
And like 42% coin flip win rate. It was below average, so he was
actually was grinding rated during the night, like Master Duel rated, and he was actually first in the manual where at the event.
While at Worlds now.
Yeah, while at Worlds, like he was actually grinding for first, and he got first too. Then we go. His second pick was a deck that was actually used only once, that we kept secret until the very last moment for a very specific reason, which was Mermaid.
Not with Retro Beast, huh?
Mermaid with a very weird attack, which was Silent Wobby. That was being used by Julius, the German guy. Don't ask me the surname, but Julius, you got it. Yeah, you understand why I didn't pronounce it, right? Anyways, like that tech is actually super useful because in a developed Mermaid format, people were starting actually to siding Lancia against that deck, and were expecting anti-Malice decks to counter Luca. Usually, you would still pick Malice into an anti-Malice because Malice is still favorable. Actually, crazy.
Yeah,
but. For specific decks that we would consider way too strong, we would go for the Mermaid pick. Maybe like a weird variant of Tempai or some weird deck. We would probably go for that pick. Because people would be on Lancia, Chaos Hunter, Meowth, and you can actually barrier lock your opponent, like barrier of the water statue. under Lancia if you play the Silent Wobby. The combo goes, you special summon Silent Wobby using Silicant, then you goes for Bahamut into Leviathan at the back the Silent Wobby by detaching a material from Bahamut. Special summon the Silent Wobby on the opponent board. Make Poseidra the XYZ, the 7. Bounce back the Silent Wobby in your hand by milling from the deck the Barrier's Touch. And then you make the Mermaid Link 2 in order to revive it. And then you have like protection, because you're gonna establish a shrine in the graveyard with an Heptabyss in your hand in order to have a protection for your Barrier statue. You're gonna have a Synchro line, because you can end on, depending which one you're playing. In this case, I think we were playing the Chengus. So in battle phase, you would just banish the shrine and use Chengus effect in order to banish a card on the opponent board and graveyard. The second player was Herman. I guess Herman was the first player, but Herman with Ryziel and Ritual Beast. I don't know if you have, if you looked at Herman decklist, there was a meme running around.
Yeah, just one.
Just maybe more than one, but it was bro, it took everything. And if you look at
it took all the good cards.
And if you look at his deck list, it took everything.
Yeah.
I remember one time actually talking about how Herman was approaching this deck, and I was like, bro, I'm trying to build my deck, then he opens my deck, and he's looking at them like a grocery shop. He picks one card, takes it, and I'm like, I have to replace it. And he's like, oh, that card is kind of good. I might take it too. So the cards that he took, quote unquote, were the third Lancia, that I think it's fair because he's playing 7th IQ.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's probably not fair was the Purulia.
Yeah.
And then what's probably also not fair is the one Evilly. It was playing. I think it was 20 different non-engine. What was that?
How did you make it sound like you guys didn't even talk about it much? He just decided he wanted it.
No. I think there is a lot of thoughts into it, because he was playing 5 Champions. Stepping aside from the meme, there were a lot of thoughts into it, because we wanted him to draw as random as possible after resolving the Champions, because cards like Valor and Impermanence were underperforming.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted him to draw several, we wanted to have a good amount of entraps that would potentially stop the opponent from making a board, and a good amount of cards that would be dealing with the board that our opponent put up to the entraps.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you will see cards like one Evilly, one Feather Duster, one Talent. And also because there were also cards that we wanted to play in other decks as well. The Talent, for example, I wanted it, Luca wanted it, and Herman wanted it. So at that point, you have to play one Talent in each deck.
Yeah. Which there's a lot of merit to splitting your cards in Master Duel Worlds format, because I think I calculated it one of the years. I think you have a higher chance of seeing a Talents if you put one in each deck than if you put 3 in one.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
You mean seen just in general
in general, if you in one out of the 3 games to see one Talents in one of your hands, you have a higher chance if there's one Talents in each deck than if there's 3 Talents in one deck, because then 2 decks have a 0% chance of drawing Talents, and then the other deck has whatever, I don't know the percentage off the top of my head right now, but that, and then but it's a higher chance if every deck has one, basically.
Interesting.
Okay. But the second deck was actually, I think he never summoned a Detonator, actually. Maybe one time. Most of the time he summoned he went for the Baguska setup, and when he had TOTK, he actually summoned Masquerade more than Detonator.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Farfight's it's an XYZ that requires 3 level 4 monsters that negates everything in battle.
Why did you say Farfa specifically? Before you said that, you didn't even ask.
I was waiting for you to suggest Wonky Quartet, but sure, okay.
My bad.
Let me explain that for you.
Anyways, and Detonator was actually not that much summoned. For the second deck, bro, I need to remove it off from my chest. That shit was ass. Ritual Beast. Like, I can, bro. Like, there was literally non-engine. Like, there was, like, the worst non-engine possible. Was like, bro, it's fine. It's fine, bro. Like, when Ritual Beast goes, bro, I'll be real with you. Like, it just was addicted to Lara, and that's why I wanted to play that shit. No one said anything. And, like, it's fine. His deck was broken. Like, his Ryzel deck was broken. That's what matters. When he queued that shit the first time, he got literally, like, destroyed to shreds. And I was like, Luca, we have to make sure that motherfucker doesn't put that shit again. So, like,
well, he played it once and he lost this game. So
I think he played 3 games. He lost 2 times and he won 1 time. And like that 1 time, bro. but like to be honest, I was not a fan of it. And I was like with Luca, I was like, bro, like we cannot tell him, like, you know, like you have to know your guests. You need to know how to talk to him, right? I was like, Luca, bro, we have to make sure that doesn't cue that shit again. And I was like, so during his games, every time that he would say, yeah, maybe I play Ritual Beast, like we would literally find the most random explanation of why Ryzel would be the best pick against that matchup.
Under any circumstance, you're not playing this.
So it's not like we could not say no, because otherwise that would start an argument. But like we would actually try to find reasons for why it would not be good. Like
you can't just tell him like no, because then he'll do it anyways.
yeah.
Makes sense.
That sounds a lot like Herman, yeah.
That sounds a lot like Herman, right? But like. But like I got it, like I needed to get it out of my chest. Like he's gonna probably watch this and he's gonna DM me. But I needed to get it out. I can't. He knows that too deeply. He actually knows that too deeply, very deeply.
But like unironically, if you like, there's just like some situations where this just all makes sense, right? Because like
it was for Tampa. He wanted to play that for Tampa. So he put the protocol fine.
So just in general, I think this year the format for Master Duel Worlds was very, very centralizing around Malice and Ryziel, and I believe every single team obviously had Malice and Ryziel, but it was basically Malice was the best deck by far, and every team, as far as I know, did the same thing with Malice, which was every team played Malice, and then they played a second deck that would be good against an anti-Malice deck, because you expect, if everyone expects Malice in the tournament, there's going to be some people who try to find a deck that they can queue specifically into Malice to get a win off of it, right? Which is something that a lot of teams did, us included. But like that's why you'll see a lot of Malice decks just paired with solid other decks that don't care about Lancia, basically, right? Which like Mermail with like certain combo lines maybe that work under Lancia and so on and so forth. That was a very popular pairing for any Malice player in the team. With Ryziel, it's the second best deck pretty much, but it's not nearly as robust as Malice. So like you try to find a second deck that complements Ryziel well. Here, I think there's 2 different approaches. You can either do the same thing as with Malice, where you find something that counters the Ryziel counters, which was mostly Tenpai, because like Ryziel boards are super easy to break. I mean,
that is the reason why I brought that. But to be honest, bro, like could have been.
There's like
else.
other teams who decided to bring like Gimmick Puppet FTK or Arcana Force FTK just to counter Tenpai. I feel like those are better candidates to counter Tenpai than Ritual Beast, because like you can actually just, why would you summon a Protoss against them when you can also just FTK the Sky Striker Tenpai?
Exactly.
But anyways, that's still the idea. The idea is the same.
Herman is gonna hate on you too, man. Don't put yourself under the bus with me. I'm telling you.
I mean, the idea behind those is the same thing, right? It's anti Striker Tenpai, right? Anti Striker Tenpai is the idea
then
behind. Then
you test the matchup and it's actually unplayable because Malice has to take Sarcophagus. I don't know how people actually came with Striker Tenpai. We'll talk about it.
I mean, we did.
I know.
Like branded as well, I guess, right?
Branded. I don't know why people play branded. I can't explain that.
I actually tested against branded. I asked Abo to test against me.
I mean, we brought Striker Tenpai as the second deck to Ryziel instead of we thought Ryziel was robust enough where we could even queue it into other decks, and basically we wanted to have a counter to other Ryziel players. And if we thought like, okay, well, if someone queues like Tenpai into Emre because they know he's playing Ryziel, then I guess we'll play a 50-50 at worst because we both have Tenpai now. Like we didn't consider that to be a big problem. Like if he queues into a Tenpai
what Emre
mirror,
would do against Malice? Would he play Striker Tenpai or would he play just Ryziel?
His Ryziel had Bell and Meows and 2 Lancias.
Oh, okay. Well,
so it was basically the idea was like you queue that Ryziel deck with Lancia, Meows, and Bell into Malice, and that's also good into Memento, right? Like all of those cards are decent.
Different strategy, different approach. Like it's way different. It's actually like day and night. Like you probably like just go for a Tenpai first pick if you do that.
It depends on who the player is. After round 1, you have an idea of who's the Malice player.
Yeah.
So and then the third deck for every team is just like the underdog.
The third deck, there were like we were calling them the dogs, and that's also why my Discord pick was a dog during like the WCS. I don't know if you noticed that. Now it's not anymore, but that was a dog during the WCS for everyone who DM'd me. During the interview for the different like journalists, we called them the puppies. So you guys, the puppies. I couldn't say dog, man. Like, please. I know how to deal with. Anyways, the puppies.
There's brand save.
Good save. Yeah.
And I'll actually tell you something funny that happened during one of the interview after. Remember me because this is broken. So what happened? Like I had Memento. I really liked Memento. I tested Branded a lot actually, all two. Tested Branded, but it felt like I was losing more to Impermanence than actually Ash Blossom. And you would say, okay, but there is an Impermanence in every deck, maybe. But Impulse then would be broken too.
Yeah.
Then you would say, okay, maybe you can play it against you can play it against Ryziel, but Ryziel was actually making if Ryziel was making the Baguska bot, there was no way out.
Yeah.
I felt the best option was either Mermail or Memento for me. I tested Mermail, but then I came out to a conclusion that I'm going to put myself in the worst possible position. Let's assume that my opponent knows very well Mermail, which I think was expected for Worlds because there are literally the best players in the world. If they just let Neptabase resolve and Poseidrine infantry, and they just like try to interrupt me after that, I have nothing. Because the issue with Mermail was once you resolve Poseidra to bounce, once you resolve an infantry to pop, which is basically 2 traits, right? Now you have to play with the pairs all of level 7. If your opponent just deals with that, you literally have no link climb.
Yep.
And that's how I felt by playing the deck.
So like going second, you didn't think it was good enough?
I don't think it was good like at all, like against any deck. If they would just know how to do it, I would be very bad. Like we actually put ours, like during the testing, I would actually just tell them like, actually let me resolve the Neptabase. Let me go Poseidra dump, and then you start interrupting me after that. And you just remove level 7 from my board. No link climb, no pushes, nothing. Like there was nothing I could have done in that situation. It was literally just battlefield and try to beat. But if your opponent had board presence, you could never win. So, and that's why I didn't like it. Memento, I built a branded variant actually at the very start. I was like, okay, if they max me, I'll just like lock them out of the game. Because there is the level 1 spellcaster, 5 Rainbow Magician that I could recycle by doing like Verte stuff. I liked a lot Verte and I want to do the brand stuff. But I felt it was not as good against Ryziel. And I still had the same issue with Baguska, and I needed more link climb for Baguska, so I tried the Goblin stuff. And I have to say the Goblin stuff broken.
Yeah, you were a Goblin boy for the event. I think you played the heaviest engine of it.
Yeah, I think that was very good into, because the thing is that one what's the name of the normal spell? Grand Party.
Grand Entrance.
One grand entrance actually outs Baguska. Because you detach, you add, you special summon the goblin, make anima, then you activate the grand entrance effect in the grave, detach another material, normal summon the goblin, make SP. Like that would be one of the few scenarios in which can happen. Obviously, if your opponent summons also the Baguska in the Bronco Zone, that's also another broken situation.
Yeah.
Or any monster there, it's also broken.
There's no way
Like,
anyone did that Worlds though, right?
No,
Please tell me you didn't Anima Baguska.
No, but it came up against Apollosa in order to bait
okay,
an extra,
yeah.
But like, I liked it a lot, to be honest. In general, like the Anima, the Grand Entrance, I think that was very good. And now we come to the Evely situation. I wanted to play 3 Evely so bad because I think Droplet was not good at all. From my perspective, I felt like Droplet was not doing enough because I put myself in the position in which like my opponent has the full Rizel board because I didn't draw Maxi. Okay. So if I don't draw Maxi, if I don't draw full, I don't have full. Also, my opponent will always have the full board against me.
Yeah.
I need board breakers that actually deal with the entire board. So what does Droplet do against 1 level 4 with Quick Spell Trap Set, Field Spell Detonator, Baguska?
Yeah, I agree.
Or Duo Drive Baguska? Nothing.
No. It's very interesting and very funny because it's interesting to see how the other choices in the other decks completely influence the way you take a deck. Because our approach to my Memento deck was completely different because I had the Fuvas, right? So like one of my main concerns when I was considering cards like Evenly was that, well, I have 2 Maxi 3 Fuva, and if I resolve one of those against Ryzeal, I'm mostly scared of just Baguska Pass, right? I'm not scared of like the full board. If they get to the full board, it means I probably didn't draw any non-engine because I didn't have my Fuvas.
So your teammates allowed you to have Fuvas?
Yes, exactly. My deck was not a grocery store.
So in that regard, I wanted really to play 3 Evely, and I wanted really to play 3 Book of Eclipse. Bro, for a period you took Book of Eclipse. I don't want to talk about that. Like that was evil. That was an evil arc right there. He wanted to have the Book of Eclipse.
Wait, who wanted it?
Was it at least for the Ryzeal deck?
It was like, if I give you the Fuwa, you have to give me Book of Eclipse.
Bro, you guys are crazy.
Dude, it feels like you're competing while building a deck. It's so weird.
I was like, how is this fair, man? I was like, okay, take the Fuwalos. I'm gonna try to find another solution. My solution was 3 Evely, 3 Book of Eclipse.
Yeah.
And talent.
Yeah.
He wanted also the talent, so I gave him the talent, and I had 1 talent. I was like, okay, now what do? I have like 5, 6 flex spots in my deck. I came to the conclusion, I was like, you know what? I want more Evely's, but he also wanted 1 Evely. So I gave him also an Evely, and I'm left with 2 Evely. I'm like, okay. So at that point, let's go a trust approach. And if I'm playing trust, I'm gonna try Black Goat Laughs. I was like, it's better to have barrier because I'm gonna use this deck against mostly Ryzeal. How would I know that I'm playing against mostly Ryzeal or Mirrors?
No.
And here we go to Reddit. Now, there was a Reddit post.
Okay.
There was a Reddit post with all the names of the players and what are the possible picks of every of those players. Possible, like not guaranteed, possible, because most of them were like not most, like most of them were correct. Some of them were incorrect. So it's like this post was made by like watching what people were doing in ranked, so nothing to shed. This post would talk about every player at Worlds, what are their possible picks, and like the talking about their past tops, like their life and stuff like that. How they achieved to come to Worlds as well. So I noticed that most of the players that I would encounter if I was player C would not be on Malice. Yep. And I think you came to the same conclusion that you would never play your game 1 against Malice.
And that's mostly, yeah, because it's multiple reasons, but it's also like the team leader is the most important, I think, in this format, because it's a very important tiebreaker on how to get to top 4. Because with only 6 teams and 5 rounds, there's actually a very high likelihood that there's going to be multiple people on exactly 3-2 at the end of the Swiss rounds.
And there is also another reason.
Yeah.
It's because, like, one of the ways in which you qualify out of the round robin is the team leader has to have a better score.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like, that's the tiebreaker. If you have the same amount of wins, like the team is 3-2, and then you look at the total number of like game wins, and if that's the same, it's the tiebreaker is which team leader did better. Which is why I think it made the most sense to have the team leader have the best deck.
Exactly.
which was Malice. So I think most teams put their team leaders on Malice, unless like they had like a very dedicated Malice player maybe in a different spot where they thought he was going to do the best by far.
And then my second deck, since I wouldn't know when I would encounter Malice, I wouldn't actually know when I would encounter it because my teammate would tell me this player is on Malice, so be aware of it. I would use my anti-Malice Snake Eye. I tested everything. I spent $200 on voiceless voice, bro. Like, I'm not joking. I was losing my shit when I had to spend $200 on voiceless voice because Herman one day woke up and said, I think voiceless voice is broken. You could try it without telling me how many ultras it was.
God.
So I tested voiceless voice. I tested Crystron, which actually was not that bad. I tested
you guys
Finsmith.
it was really weird. You guys didn't play any Crystron between you.
I tested Finsmith. I tested actually Branded too, because I was like, maybe I can try to put Memento and Branded in the same. Not possible. Verta is at 1. I don't know why. Maybe for a word format, they put Verta at 1.
I mean, building Branded as an anti-Malice deck is rough because they got 3 Impulse, 3 Ash. That's a hard way to like.
Yeah, no, I didn't like it too, to be honest. But I tried, bro. I tried everything.
Yeah.
Finsmith, because, take it in consideration. Because who knows what would happen. Goblin Biker Finsmith, which was something that was being tested by the OCG during like some huge events, and I was like, might as well try it. Didn't work out very well. I think that's it in terms of anti-Malice deck that I tried, because there were not a lot of choices that you could go for, so I think those were the most powerful engines, and then Snake Eye. I was on voiceless until 1 week before the WCS, because I was like, after I spent $200, like, I need to run this shit. But then we tested Snake Eye.
Crazy approach.
And then it actually felt so much better. Crystron also actually felt good. I liked the most I liked the most were Crystron personally and Snake Eye. Crystron, cause of the zombie vampire that would like mill, Lancia, Chaos Hunter, I would summon those. But then Snake Eye was doing the same thing and even better, because you have access to the zombie vampire by using Snake Eye, by using like the Diabelle Star, the Pop Diabelle Star, and the Fusion Doom Dragon, that you can make zombie vampire, or you can do it with just like the Millennium cards. And then I had also Saruya. So every time I was gonna go first against like Malice, I would 100% win the game, because I would be either going for Saruya and draw Chaos Hunter or Lancia, or I would mill them with zombie vampire. And it felt like
you just push through if they maxi you.
Yeah, no, I would just go. To be honest, it doesn't matter if they maxi you, because under Lancia, if you have a Chaos Hunter on the board or a like Chaos Hunter Lancia, like you could actually prepare the setup for it. Like they cannot push anyways. It doesn't matter. Like they have limited push. You have infinite pushes.
I don't know.
By the way, Julian, you're free to chime in anytime you want here. Did you play any Mass Duel, by the way? Did you ever try and... You have no interest?
It started last year, bro. If you had time to play Master Duel and top 2, I would actually,
Fair enough.
Like, I'm already feeling old when you say 24. I was feeling so bad at that moment. Okay, so, I mean, that was my strategy for the most part. In my opinion, it was not even the deck. It was mostly... Second.
Yeah, for Mass Duel going forward, I assume that's probably not something that's going to interest you at all, Julian, because you're on the... as the reigning world champion, you get to automatically go back and defend. So
yeah, some of my friends ask me like, "What if we qualified?" And I'm like, "Bro, don't make me choose." Like, I feel like I gotta go back for TCG. Like, I gotta defend my title. There's no way.
Yeah.
100%. I'm curious. I can't remember if you mentioned testing with anyone from Worlds, or was it just your friends, like from the circle that you've gotten? Like, did you test with any other people who were going?
I talked to like James like briefly, but I didn't actually play any games with him. Like we chatted for like 15 minutes one day. But other than that, it was mostly just like friends outside the tournament. But at least the people that I did test with, like they were like they were like low key more dedicated than me. They were like, "We're getting you this win." Like,
Yeah,
not
that's because I think
resting.
that's the hardest part, and that's also remarkable that you found people that did that. Because in the past, when I made it to TCG Worlds, I would always try to find like one or two other people who also play TCG Worlds. Like the last time I went in 2019, I did test with Herman and Jonas from Europe, because I just felt like it was so hard to find people as invested into that format, because it is a niche format after all. It's not the same as TCG, not the same as OCG. So you have limited data to go off of. And so I felt like it was very helpful to find people who are in like the same position and are going to be as dedicated as you are. And I mean, of course you might play in the tournament, but then after all, like, okay, you know what they play, they know what you play. It's not really an advantage for either of you. So I felt like that was a big help,
Yeah, I definitely think like if like one or two other people know your deck list, like it's not the end of the world. Like by the time you make it to Top Cut, like you pretty much know other people's deck lists.
Yeah.
Like I was able to kind of like figure out my opponent's deck list just from like looking at the stream. Like you just zoom in on their deck when they're like searching through their deck. It's like it's available to you, right? So you might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah.
That's I suppose, I mean, it's hard to sort of push against that when, I mean, you won, so it is what it is. It's just, I'm wondering, like, I guess other than like, deck list sharing or something, is there anything that you think you could have done better? Which obviously is a weird thing to say because you won, but
I mean, definitely there's always room for improvement, right? No, I totally agree. I think like I do think the like not testing with anyone from the tournament was fine just because of like how dedicated my friends were to the testing. Like they literally were like sometimes I'd be like I'm tired like I'd be like they'd piss me off like we're in testing and like I just get angry and they're like, no bro, like stay locked in. They're like, you wanna go like X7 at Worlds? Like I don't think so. They're just like, get me back on track. I'm like, all right, fine. Even at some point they'd like test my mental. Like one of my good boy Jesse, he was like talking shit towards like the end of our testing. Like always when we played, he would always like telling me like, oh, you're so bad and shit. And then at the end he was like, bro, by the way, like I was just testing the mental, bro. I just want to make sure, like, when you're up there, you're ready. No, like, don't shake or anything for anyone. So, but like,
I just remembered, by the way. I thought like Ruben was part of like the same group. No, was he not involved with at all with any of the people you tested with?
No,
Ruben tested with Charlie.
Yeah, Ruben and Charlie tested together. I don't know who Aditya tested with.
Oh, okay.
I like asked Charlie and Aditya like when right after we called if they wanted to test, and they said they were okay. So I was all right, that's no problem.
Oh no!
It's not like you cannot take. Like, it has to be a restricted testing circle at that point because like you're like there are only 27 people anyway.
Yeah. No, I mean it was fine.
Like we actually tried to test with Fala Galero, and they say no. I was like, okay.
I mean, it's fair enough. I think.
I
mean, I think. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
I think it's very important because I know that there's definitely been drama at Worlds, like historically, where people have agreed to test together, but then kept things from one another, which on one hand makes sense because you could play against each other, but it is also really weird because, well, you're making this like informal contract with another person that you will test together, and keeping things from one another is like.
I mean, the entire time we thought that Ryan would be on Memento. Because he was testing Memento in
I thought so too, yeah.
And then he showed up with Ryzel?
Yeah, Ryan played Ryzel.
No one said anything, like, because it's not like I'm gonna tell you which deck I'm gonna be on. Like, you just go there and test.
Yeah.
So, no one was mad about it. I
don't
like need to know which deck you're gonna be on.
This year in the TCG was maybe in a slightly different situation, because the format was very, very close to TCG, actually. Like, it's not like previous years where certain balance restrictions or whatever, like, completely warped the format. This year was basically like TCG, but the only things I can really think of that are missing that mattered are, like, Paradise Smasher, Fenrir, and the Mitsurugi cards for the most part, right? Everything else, I mean, yeah, okay, Malice loses a Dormouse, but everything else is just Justice Hunters. Right?
Yeah, no, it was pretty much just Justice Hunters.
Yeah, so
and
you...
one extra.
Right,
important.
okay, sure. So, but you can actually like go to regionals and maybe like 7 out of 9 rounds or whatever, you are going to face decks that you reasonably could face at Worlds, so that you're getting actual practice and testing.
Yeah, that was nice. Getting some like in-person practice. Like I said, like I went to Vancouver and then the regional the week before that I did too with Drake Hotel. I like actually took those as good practice. And those are that was like the main reason that I stayed away from that deck. Like I said, I went to time a bunch and like the games are like way too hard. And like, you know, the skill level of people at a YCS is obviously going to be lower than at Worlds, and I was like not doing well at a YCS, and I'm like, there's no way this is going to perform at Worlds. So.
All right. I suppose like we can maybe round off with a couple of ban list points and discussions around that going forward for the upcoming formats.
I think for Master Duel, Block Dragon to 3 is going to solve all our problems.
That's a decision they made, which is something I'm very happy about. Good job.
I
Konami.
think there is something that I actually want to have the insight of Josh about like Master Duel. Do you think if you could, right, like imagine that you have like a magic wand, right? Would you ban Maxi tomorrow? Just Maxi from Master?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, I would.
Is this a trick question? Like what's
okay, let me explain. Let me explain what he means. No, what he means is that like Master Duel is a crazier format than the TCG. There's a lot of crazy shit that's legal in Master Duel that would pop off tomorrow if we ban Maxi. But here's the thing. I say we rip the band-aid off, we let that shit go crazy for 2 months, everyone complains about it, and then they ban the Appaloosa, the Baron, all the things that they had to get rid of in TCG to make it playable. And we showed them the cards they need to ban. It's easy.
My answer instead is the reverse.
Right. Sure.
Yeah, you just ban the other things before and then you ban Max.
I don't care which order is the thing. Like as soon as
but I think we both agree. I think everyone agrees on that. No. I think everyone agrees on that.
I don't think you need to give a shit about any degenerate stuff like Electromite or whatever. Like who cares? Like just
it does matter. No, no, I'm sorry. Like, it's not like no, it's not like that. It's not like that, bro.
He's got a point. Like if Maxi gets banned tomorrow, there's going to be some decks that are going to probably ruin your day if you run into them too often. But then they just have to ban those as well. Like that's the thing.
I feel like those decks.
So it's infinite decks, bro. Like the pool is infinite decks on Master Duel without Maxi. It's infinite. Like there is still Lunalight.
Well, they got 3 Gateway of the 6. That deck FTKs you every time.
We have Pendulum. We have Gimme Puppet. Like there is, I don't know, like
there's a lot of things in the game that are only there with the possible justification of Maxi exists, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Which is not a good justification, but it is the case, I think.
I mean, the entire format is built around that card.
Yeah.
If you remove that card, everything crumbles, in my opinion.
Yeah, but then I personally think I would do it anyways, because then they have to do something about the other stuff, and then
I like that. He literally comes on the podcast, acts like the Joker, and he's like, "Yeah, I love cows."
I mean,
boom, everything explodes.
I would rather play against Pendulum and Electromite combo swap. Occasionally.
You say that, and then you're gonna slap your feet on the.
Yeah, but it's not like it's gonna be like every game is like against some like Dark World nonsense deck or something.
No,
right?
you both have a point. I think you both have a point.
Yeah.
I think if I could ban Maxi tomorrow, I'd do it, and then I would deal with the fallout after.
Yeah.
But I would still do it. I would rip off the band-aid.
Okay, and then another point would go: can we ban a Link Decoder and Appaloosa? Can we please do that?
The most important ones.
No,
yeah, Appaloosa
no, it's not good enough.
No, Nesh, I'm saying no. I say we'd start, bro.
Nesh,
like,
Malice.
The set is gonna arrive.
No. Malice is not good enough if we ban those cards. You don't understand. It had only an 80% win rate going first at Worlds. Can you imagine? They only like you win the coin toss with Malice and you only win 80% of the time?
Can you imagine one Dormouse playing around Chaos Hunter?
I've been there.
Can you imagine that?
That's happened to me.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, I think the rotation of ransom decoder, it has to have at least 99% win rate. Like 95%.
I'll give you a counter offer. What if instead of banning Link Decoder and Appaloosa, yeah, we leave those in the game. We just add the Adignester support. What do you think about that?
Masterful.
Thoughts?
Sign me the heck up.
Thoughts?
I saw that post today. I think yeah.
Wait, actually, I didn't check. Actually.
No, they're in the next pack.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
And when is the ban list?
After, like, this is all for the Duelist Cup. There's no ban list, and you get the next ban list is Brilliant Fusion 3 and Block Dragon, and the next pack has Gem Knight and Adignester.
Look at him.
How close are you with? One sec, because now I'm gonna talk my shit. How close are we with Konami here? Like, are we family friendly still?
We are family friendly.
We are.
Then I'm gonna be friendly. Good job. Insane. Exactly what we wanted. Love you with all my passion.
Don't ask for much, but happy it's gone down this way for sure. I think that other than like the obvious like Appaloosa being such a criminal in Master Duel, it's just kind of like a weird situation where once you get rid of like those egregious offenders, it's kind of like where maybe TCG is right now, where perhaps a ban list isn't really necessary to like hugely shake things up. It's just a couple of tuning things here and there, like some floodgates, etc. Because I think like engine-wise, I think most decks currently in TCG and even in Master Duel are at a point like, where if you just bring...
How? Josh, how?
Which form are you talking about?
I'm still thinking about the ban list.
He doesn't play, it's fine.
Wait, which form are you talking about? I'm talking about like if you get rid of like the egregious offenders like Appaloosa and stuff. If you let me finish my point, by the way, like with Justice
Hunters, you said engines are balanced, which is not true because Malice is still completely busted even without Apple.
I mean, okay, so like, but the thing is, when the new decks come in, I think they can test it quite fairly. Do you disagree?
Yes.
At which point? Because many.
No, like Malice. The thing is, like, Malice, I'm sorry, man. Malice is still like very good at in Worlds format, for example, when it doesn't have 3 Dormouse, it doesn't have 3 White Rabbit, it doesn't have 3 Field Spells, it doesn't have 2 Gold Sarks.
Yeah, but it's not like busted. It's like it's a deck.
No, but like if you add those 6 extra cards to it, it's busted.
Sure. Right. So a little bit of tuning, right? You don't need to kill the deck.
You could though.
What? Unless you want to. Like if you just don't.
Put Dormouse at 1. What are we talking about?
Sure.
Ban decoder, ban decoder, ban Appaloosa. Put Dormouse at 1. Like, to be honest, I'll be real with you. We put also Hair at 1. Fuck it.
All right.
And then you mix it with Finsmith and it's playable.
You know what? I'm down.
But no, okay, to return to the original topic, I think outside of Malice, most of the other decks in Master Duel right now are at a pretty similar power level, where it's like, Pure Ryziel, fine.
I think it's fine. Yeah.
Memento, fine. Branded, fine. Mermail toxic, but fine in terms of power level and win rate. Like, I'm not a fan of the Mermail deck, but win rate wise, it's okay. So like, in that sense, it's fine. And you are right, like with the Justice Hunters deck coming out eventually, that's also gonna help me a lot enjoying Master Duel again. Because I this weekend I kept thinking about like this would have been such a sick 3v3 format actually if we had this for Worlds. Like even with Maxi Legal or whatever, like wouldn't have been ideal, but still like one player plays like K9 Vanquish Soul, one player plays Yummy, one player plays maybe Draco Tail or still Malice or whatever. Like it would have been a very enjoyable time because you actually have 3 players operating at roughly the same power level. Whereas like this year, it felt like all the Malice players like were friggin' listening to the payphone song, and everyone else was the friggin' sweaty gamer like hammering their keyboard because they didn't get Malice. It's
Parfa, Malice was so broken that I heard of some OCG players sharing Malice cards.
Dude, we
Yo,
tried
that's
that. We
crazy.
tested that. We tested
I
playing
also
multiple
tried
malice
it
decks.
there.
Yeah.
I also tried it there.
Yeah.
Like that's how broken it was.
Yeah.
As a
Do you
pick.
just play like generic, I don't know, code talker stuff?
It
in,
was
like
like
the
there
second
was
deck
like
or something?
there's multiple ways to get more consistency in Malice. There's like ways to play like Terror Top and make Cherubini to send the Malice name and then banish it. You can play like Signet mining and stuff like that. We had versions where we played multiple like 2 Malice decks in the lineup for a second because it was just that much better than everything else.
Yeah,
that is very funny.
I like, in my opinion, this was the perfect format without Malice. Like, just add Ryziel, because Ryziel and Memento have like roughly the same win rate.
Yeah.
If you compare those.
Yeah.
That would have been nice. That would have actually been nice.
Yeah, Malice kind of like also. I mean, you look at the stats. I saw the stats on the spreadsheet. Like literally, I wasn't exaggerating. That deck had 80% when it went first at Worlds.
Yes,
80%, which
agree.
honestly is like, if you factor in a couple of bricks here and there where the deck just couldn't win because it couldn't play, like that's essentially every single time the deck goes first and plays the game, it wins.
Yeah, I mean the rotation of Ransom plus Decoder, I think it's perfection.
Yeah.
I don't think there is any way to stop it.
Yeah.
I remember watching one of your games when you were playing on Twitch.
Yeah.
And you had like 4 entraps in hand, and it just went for that simple rotation.
Yeah.
And there were nothing you could have done.
Yeah.
Then you look at the screen, very sad, and like, this is Malice.
Is it the same deal in TCG? Do we still need to kill Malice or something? Or
I think TCG is perfect.
I honestly think the CCG format is like hella good right now. Like,
yeah.
For the record, that's what I was mostly referring to, but
yeah.
Sure.
Wait, was it?
Mashed by Nash.
Wait, was he referring to that?
He said both. He did say both. So
He did say both. I'm not tripping.
No, you're not tripping. He's gaslighting you.
Thank you. Oh, come on, Farfan. Oh, sorry.
Wait, what?
So,
Sorry.
if
Yeah,
there
go
was
on.
anything, like if there is a ban list in the TCG, what are you predicting? What are you hoping to see, Julian?
Honestly, I'm still predicting like the old engines to get hit.
Mhm.
Just because of like the way that like Konami operates, right? I think they just like want to hit the old engines so people play the new cards. So I'd probably like expect Mitsuri to be hit to some degree.
Right.
Probably Malice also just get hit like something crazy just so that people stop playing Malice. Which, to be fair, like from like Vancouver, there weren't a lot, and like the regional I went to, there weren't actually a lot of people still playing Malice.
Yeah.
Just because of like how affordable the like deck building sets are. Like like looks for like the engine.
Yeah.
Which I compare to like previous decks, that's like really affordable, right?
Yeah.
Dragotail is also like decently affordable. I know it went up, but before that it was like more affordable. But yeah, so like I've seen people play the new decks a lot, so I don't even know why people are so pressed to get a ban list. Like I feel like right now the format's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even know what else I would hit. Like
Masher?
Yeah, I know people don't like Paradise. I don't think that card's like that crazy. I think that's like that card has like a lose con written on it, which I think is crazy. Like
Yeah.
you just lose if you
It's basically the difference between it's not I agree with you, it's not even that good, and it's most of the time not even optimal for people to go for it, because honestly that deck, if it opens like K9 and Vanquish Soul cards, you literally are probably better off just not summoning Paradise Smasher. Your win rate will be higher if you use your interruptions correctly, because like you Paradise Smasher, you give yourself like a 9% chance to lose. Well, like, it's like 3% to just FTK yourself, and then like 9% where it just ties and you basically just wasted some resources. So a lot of the times it's not optimal to make it, but people still do, and whenever they do, it still feels very bad. Because it also completely disables the ability to play something like a board breaker approach. Like I was asking Tom in the deck profile I made with him, like, would you play this deck in TCG? And he's like, no, you can't do this, because if you get Paradise Smashered and you only play Fuva, like you just lose 90% of the time.
Like honestly, I didn't really look at like the TCG deck list of Vanquish Soul, because I didn't look at the deck until pretty late, so I just like went straight into Worlds for it.
Yeah.
But like my deck going first like doesn't lose. I lost once going first, where I lost twice going first. Once I misplayed, so like that's not my deck's fault. That was me. Second one, low-key Tom destroyed me.
Yeah.
Like in Swiss, he like double Book of Eclipse me, and I look at my hand, I look at my board. I'm like, damn. Like that was pretty good. But
Yeah.
other than that, like going first, if I get Moltres on me, like in that deck you set up like quick play plus trap, like
Yeah.
your opponent like can't really do anything. So I think it's like fine. You don't really need that card as a win con for like.
Wait, what was your end when he double Book of Eclipse you? Because the setup,
I
you have two free space in the main monster zone, right?
Yeah, no, I full comboed him and he clips me.
Okay.
It clips me. Okay, maybe I misplayed. Now that
No, because you can go jaw long, flip your own monster, and then you can activate the quick spell, and then you have suddenly 3 interruption. You should never lose to Book of Eclipse.
I see.
I promise you.
Yeah, because I go Sue reveal.
Yeah, summon jaw long, flip.
Hey, but what if he activates Eclipse right there with Prio?
Wait, I mean, depends where did you use it.
He had 2 Eclipse is the thing.
Yeah, I know that he had 2 Eclipse. So you go for the first one, then he probably run for the trap, right?
Yeah, he like forced my trap. Or like he had like 2 bodies on board. One of them was Chick. I didn't want to let him resolve Chick, so I activated the trap.
Yeah.
I just wiped my own board.
Yeah. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't remember it that well, but I see that's definitely a way to beat it. Yeah,
It's an interesting play. I didn't think of that too before you said it.
Yeah, just haha, I unbook my guy now.
You flip up the Ripper potentially in response to something where they're going to use a graveyard effect, so you get value out of that too. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You still get the pop and the hand rip. Yeah, sounds good. And then you return the Holy Sue for Caesar. You get another pop.
All I know is that because I played Tom in Swiss and I saw the Book of Eclipse, like obviously he didn't like draw a standby because like so I can't chain anything. So then every time when I played him in Top Gun, every time we made it past the standby phase, I was like, "Huh, no Eclipse yet, no Eclipse this time." And he was like, "Not yet."
Yeah. Okay, so your argument for not banning Paradise Smasher is just you think the deck's like broken enough without it anyways?
Yeah, like honestly, like it doesn't add to this. Like I don't think it adds anything. Like I'm gonna play the deck like probably right just because like I won with it and I like it. I'm probably not gonna put the smashers in my extra deck. Like I don't.
Okay, but how do you like? What's the skill ceiling of Vanquish? What like from 0 to 10? What do you think is that?
I think that it's probably like skill like high number means it's you need to be more skillful to play it.
Yeah.
I would say like I'll say a number, then I'll say one for Yummy because I don't know if my number like just to compare. I would say that like, Vanquish is like a 7 and Yummy is like a 3.
All right. Okay, now you add Paradise Smasher to that after your opponent fools you.
Okay, then it probably lowers it to like a 5, right? Where like you just randomly click the auto win button. So I think that's fair. I think that's a fair argument, right? Where like if people don't know how to play as well, they just make the auto win card rather than having it.
It just closes the gap between players that like don't play the deck super well. Even like there might be players you would maybe normally beat if they don't, even if they go for a good combo, because you just have a strong engine hand and they misplay a couple of their interruptions. Whereas like if those players make, and maybe you have like, let's say you have a 50% win rate against those going second, and then there's players who just summon Paradise Smasher all the time and they have 90% against you.
Yeah, that makes that's a fair reason. I didn't think about it that way, but like yeah, any card that like reduces skill gap like is just stupid, right? Like, you can't play now. Okay.
It's the same way I feel about Protoss. Like even though I don't think Protoss is going to be summoned very often. It's not going to be summoned very often in this format. I still don't think it was a good idea to bring it back.
Yeah, I hate that card so much. Oh my god.
Which is like, I honestly, I don't even think it's necessary to really hit like Raziel Mitsurugi in a big way. Like I do think like hitting something like Habakiri to 1 or whatever would be fine or fair enough, or prayers. But honestly, I'm mostly worried about the fact that like all of these Raziel hybrids have just been like going Protoss or Ouroboros hand loop and stuff like that. Honestly, it's not even about the Raziel cards themselves for me.
Yeah, I feel like if they just ban like Ouroboros and like Nemesis Flag, that'd be fine.
Yeah. I could live with
Yeah,
that.
you think they'll ban the Tiki-Boo after this weekend?
I mean, I'm happy for about any continuous trap that goes in the ban section.
Yeah,
I don't
honestly,
care.
yeah, this card should not be legal.
Yeah. Like
Oh,
there's a couple of cards where that's where I would personally look if I wanted to make a balance, because I don't think any of the archetypes need to be really hit. I don't think even Malice, like, I don't like Malice, but like I wouldn't be too mad if they just didn't do much about Malice. But instead I'm thinking like, cards like Shifter, cards like Tikaboo, cards like Protoss, Paradise Smasher. I think that's where it's at in the TCG right now. Those are the points where you can look, where you can actually just improve the gameplay overall, because you don't really need to balance any decks. You just need to make some of those non-games better.
Yeah, I agree. Like, and like the thing about all those things is like it's all the same thing, right? Just like reducing skill level of cards. Like for example, those are all cards that like I considered not for Worlds, but like Protoss I heavily considered for like the Worlds Points playoff, like Protoss and Escatos, and just be like, I'm gonna know what people are on after one round. Like so like I just, if I win the die roll, I just like lock them out of their deck. But then you test it more and you're like, no, like it's inconsistent really. It's just like a crutch, right? But at the same time, if you're like at a YCS where you play 12 rounds, like someone's gonna do that against you at some point, and you're like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
Like, where's the skill? And like, you do really want to play a game where you're like, where's the skill? Like, not really, right? So it's a fair point.
Yep.
All right. I think we should probably wrap up now. We've been here for a while, and it's been a very amazing, productive, long-form discussion here. So hope you guys enjoyed. Big shout outs to you guys. Like, congratulations again. Incredible achievement, once in a lifetime opportunity, and you guys took it and ran with it. So great job.
Hopefully not once in a lifetime.
Well, yeah,
a word in which we can beat my swears.
Yeah. Do you have to?
No.
But yeah, no, this has been awesome. Thanks to our guests, and make sure you check them out on all theher forms of social media. You have a YouTube channel?
Previous one.
Yeah, Julian started doing content, I think, just recently.
Yeah.
So we'll plug both of your links in the description down below.
Yep. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Me and Josh will sadly only be back for one more final episode. It is the retirement of the Heart of the Cast. Josh basically doesn't like me anymore, so
that's not the reason, but it was my decision. Yeah, don't hate on Far for it.
Well, but yeah, it was. It's unfortunately just a case of dedication to a schedule is really rough, especially with. I have a child. Josh is doing the TCG grind this year as well, so
yeah, TCG format got me motivated again.
Yep.
Oh, it's broken. It's actually broken.
Broken, he says. Busted.
It's broken. Like the TCG right now, it's at its best spot ever. I think what was the last time we got a 3-way format? 2000 what?
Toss.
I mean, I haven't played that much,
Toss,
and it
Toss.
seems really fun.
Yeah.
Everyone I know talks about it like it's just probably a format that you need to play at some point in your life, because it's just that good. Historically, it's really up there with so many. So things are looking good right now for TCG. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you for the next episode. We can maybe run through some Q&A. We're taking Patreon questions, so make sure you do unsubscribe from the Patreon Smile, unless you want to just give us $1 forever. We're taking questions from the Patreon Discord if you aren't already a member of that, but we can also look through the video here for those of you who would like to leave some random QA stuff. So we'll see you for the next episode. And again, thank you to the guests. Appreciate you all. Bye-bye.
Peace.